chose Michigan State University ultimately. My senior year of high school, I was told by my history teacher after he heard me ranting about a certain social justice cause that uh, I should really look into James Madison College at MSU. And so that's what I did. I looked up James Madison College and I realized that MSU had an amazing program for public policy, and that was what I wanted to pursue. I also applied to Northern Michigan University, but ultimately I decided Michigan State University, not only because of the public policy program, but I also knew I could save money going to Michigan State, and that was really what catapulted me into the realm of public policy. So my sophomore year, the end of my freshman year, I decided comparative cultures and politics was my major within James Madison. I really ultimately decided at the end of my first semester in CCP, comparative cultures and politics, that it wasn't for me. I really enjoyed the topics and everything. I loved talking about colonialism and hegemony. That was something I was really passionate about, but I really wanted to focus on the United States, so I chose social relations and policy. And that's really all that I did when it came to changing majors. I didn't do anything really um, transformative, like going from science to liberal arts or anything like that. I really just stuck within James Madison and changed my major from CCP to SRP. So, long story short, maybe not. I graduated in May 2020, and I decided that since there wasn't a lot of job postings or really much happening, that I was going to do something different. I was going to go outside the box. And so that's where I started applying to different postings through AmeriCorps. I decided to serve as an AmeriCorps Vista. I applied to different positions out of state. Then I decided, you know, I want to be at home. I want to dedicate my abilities, things I learned to help serve my community. And that's where I met CapCan and the Power of We and all the great people doing work in Lansing area. And now I serve as an AmeriCorps Vista with the Capital Area College Access Network. Some of the hiccups or setbacks I faced when I went to college was just adjusting to the culture of college. Um, they don't really talk about this that much, but when you come from a diverse school background, initially in high school, which I did, I am a Lansing Eastern High School alumni, you don't really see how it is within colleges because colleges, the majority demographic is white middle class students, and just adjusting to that culture, because it was really difficult for me going into a public policy college and talking about these difficult topics and realizing that these may be far away for different people. These may not be like my life experiences are suddenly not the majority, and sort of having to adjust how I talk about things, how I explain myself. Suddenly I had to explain more about different topics, different um social equity issues. I had to explain myself more as compared to high school, where I could just talk about things and people would just know what I was talking about. Suddenly I had to start vocalizing things that I just thought were inherent. Um, but that was one of the big difficulties for me going to college, especially in a public policy college, just sort of transitioning uh, how I talked about things, and just belonging. I was searching for belonging, and sometimes I didn't feel like I belonged in college. Well, the better question would be what was I not involved in college, because I sort of got a little taste of everything. So I had a job as a barista, an on campus student employee, for 3.5 years essentially. I worked as a barista. I sort of climbed up the ladder. I was a team member, then a crew lead, then a store manager. I really enjoyed that. I got to meet a lot of cool people. Also, I got to be a part of two study abroad. So, my freshman year, I essentially went to London practically free because uh, there was like a subsidized study abroad through James Madison College, and I got accepted. I did not think I was going to get accepted at first because I told myself, "What are the chances of someone from Lansing like getting the scholarship? Like I'm a nobody over here." But they ended up accepting me, and that really got me to get more confidence to apply to my second study abroad, which was in Amsterdam. And what was cool about that trip was it was all about women and gender studies, and we talked to this organization that worked specifically with African asylum seekers, um, more so LGBTQ asylum seekers in the Netherlands. I got the ability to talk about the asylum process with so many different people, and I thought it was just an amazing experience because you you get these hands-on like uh, interactions. You get to study while being in this beautiful place. I was so thankful for those experiences. I also co-founded James Madison Latinx Unidas, which was an amazing experience in itself. I what other things I did? I was also in MC 100, which is a class I thought I would mention this because it really made me feel at home in James Madison because there was a it MC 100 is specifically for first generation college students, Pell Grant recipients, just really anybody. And we talked about our college experiences, what you should do in college, like get a planner, do all this other stuff. But it really helped me sort of get my life together that freshman year of college. I also did a whole bunch of emeralds, which they're organized by intercultural aides, which they're sort of like RAs, but not really. They lead these emerald roundtable discussions, and you go every week. I went every week to the case one, and we just talked and talked about different topics, anywhere from cultural appropriation to Martin Luther King and the Poor People's Campaign. So I I also briefly was in a professional sorority, but I realized that really wasn't for me. So I did a whole bunch of stuff. So I would tell my younger self to have confidence because that was something I really lacked, especially going into college. I didn't think I belonged. It really took me years to realize that my voice was just as powerful as anybody else in that classroom. So I I would just tell myself that you deserve to have these opportunities. You deserve to occupy as much space as you're given. And when you get an opportunity to do something, even if you don't think you're qualified or you don't think you deserve it, you should do it anyways. Because there are so many people that, they do it anyways. So how are people in your classes different than you? Like, they got here and you're in the same space they are. You're a James Madison student too. So you I would tell myself to just have confidence, take advantage of all the opportunities that are thrown at you, and don't be so scared of the unknown, of treading waters you or your family have never been through, because you're gonna have to you're gonna have to cross that pond. And I want to be the one that does it.